Lots of games, video games especially, will have the option to play at various difficulty levels, ranging from easy to extremely hard. And most of us, especially when we're starting out, have a proclivity to drift towards the easy mode. We want that easy mode to get started. Maybe we just want to calibrate, get used to the controls, how things look, how things behave, with all the intent of pursuing higher difficulties later on. Some people will play on easy mode forever. They like the game, it's pretty fun. They're not there for the challenge, they're there to get to the end of the storyline. And they might not be equipped to play the game on a more difficult level. They may not want to, they may not see the point in it. Whatever the reason is, they reserve the right to stay on easy mode. Life is the same way. We can, to a certain degree, choose what difficulty we're playing on. Easy mode is most of the time a life that avoids as much responsibility as you possibly can. It means delaying moving out. That means delaying taking that difficult job. That means avoiding things like serious relationships because those are hard. Avoiding becoming a parent, even if somewhere in you want to do it and you're just afraid. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with choosing to play life on easy mode. Some people need it. Some people want it and find it preferable to the challenges. But I can say every game I've ever played, playing on a more difficult level is more rewarding. There's other things that come with playing on more difficult levels that you don't get on easy mode. Sometimes it's skills. You've got to develop those to play the game well. Sometimes it's knowledge. Take some time to research it, to develop those strategies. It's practice, it's failure. All of those things are required to play that game on a more difficult setting. So I tend to use relationships as one of those really shortcuts to playing life on easy mode. Stalling out pursuing relationships, whether it's because of fear or a lot of other reasons that people choose not to move into a relationship, it is playing life on easy mode. Because only worrying about yourself is as easy as life gets. You can throttle your spending, your habits, how much you work, how much effort you put in. All of this, you can calibrate to whatever you need to do to make your life the most relaxing that it can be. We, as a society, allow that, encourage it in some cases, starting at a fairly young age. We've moved to a place in school where you can pass simply by showing up and putting forth the most minimal effort. You don't have to learn. You just have to show that you tried. And again, sometimes you can use this to your advantage. But there is no denying that taking that easy path is stunting that development to play life on a harder level. So, again, when I'm thinking about playing life on a harder mode and getting more rewards, it requires risk. Like in the games, you stand a chance to lose and you get a chance to reset and try it over again. But the longer that you wait, the harder it gets. I've noticed something playing video games all of my life. I grew up with video games. I've never been extremely good at them, but not terrible. But the older that I got, the more I realized my dexterity for things like that declines. I'm not as fast as I used to be. I don't learn the same way that I used to. I am not as nimble in thoughts and just the coordination required. I also tend to fall back on old tendencies. So if something is completely new, I'm a little slower to adapt. I've seen this in life though, too. I see this particularly in people that are waiting until their 30s or so to settle down in those relationships. And again, there's hundreds of good reasons for this. And I'm not negatively speaking to any of these. I'm simply pointing out some of the problems that can come up. And I've said this before, a lot of the problems as you get into your 30s and dating is the fact that you've already built up lives, you've built up habits, you've built up all of your self-identity. And now what you have to do is include somebody else in that when your flexibility is lower than it used to be. And flexibility in the early stages of a relationship, they're critical. Same thing happens when prolonging being a parent. Sure, there's a lot of great reasons. I don't think I was 30 or so when we had our first kids, but there are trade-offs that you have in that. When you wait a little bit longer, life demands a little bit more of you. Me, for example, I had already had a career for about 7 years and I was doing all the work to climb the ladder and my responsibilities were increasing. And all of a sudden I had a kid, which changed everything. There's also an energy level too. Sure, you can maintain your energy through your 30s, but you got to also remember if unless you're just constantly trying to stay in shape and manage that energy, which gets to be really hard if you're an involved parent, you're going to struggle to keep up a little bit. All of these things are side effects of waiting too long to bump up the difficulty level. Now, I really can't emphasize this enough that there are people out there that want or need easy mode. They choose it for lots of different reasons. And if that's you, I want you to know that that's okay. You can live your entire life that way. And you can live a good life that way. And you can seek out challenges in other aspects than just the basic ones that I'm talking about around relationship and work and responsibility. You can always pick up the extra stuff and temporarily play life on a more difficult level and reap some of those rewards. But there is one other thing about choosing easy mode is life reserves the right to put you on the hardest difficulty without warning. It may not be permanent, it may be temporary, but one thing is for certain, hard mode is going to enter your life. Things will get hard. And at least honing some of the skills necessary to play at a more difficult level will be one of the only things that get you through it. So whether you're constantly playing life on hard mode, you should be prepared to. We all should be ready and willing to rise to the occasion when life throws us a curveball and bumps up our difficulty level. So hopefully that just gives you a little bit of food for thought as you're going through your day to day. I know that choosing easy mode is very tempting. I know that it's easy to go down that path and stay on it. In many ways, it's a lot more fun if fun is your goal. If your goal isn't to build something, achieve something, grow, and become more than you are today, easy mode's always there. But we should want those things. We should want to maximize our potential in this world. And we should want to be able to give back, because those hard modes acknowledge something that easy mode doesn't. And that's, we are part of something bigger than ourselves, whether we want to be or not. We are part of it. And living life on hard mode, developing relationships, having kids, taking on responsibility even when I don't want to, it gives me hope for the future, just simply by emphasizing that there is a future. Because the life that I'm building, when this life is up, what I've worked on keeps going. And those are the things that, when I look at everything that's going on, when life is extremely hard, I can sit back and I can say, all right, I'm working towards something bigger than myself. This is going to last longer than me. My efforts here are not wasted. They are building something in a future. And that's the greatest hope that I can have when I think that everything else is going wrong and I don't like where things are going and I disagree with a lot of things that are happening in the world. I can actually just sit down, look back and say, well, I'm putting forth something that's going to last. There is a future, and knowing that there's a future directly impacts my decisions. Because I know that I'm playing life on hard mode. So I'm trying to develop the skills for the next level. I'm trying to see what's coming next and plan for it. I'm doing the research to make sure that when the challenge comes, I'm not blindsided by it. So I hope you'll do something hard today. I hope that you won't be afraid to bump up the difficulty level, even if it's temporary. I hope that you can see the value in the difficulty, because it's there. Well, thanks for staying till the end. This channel, Life of Compounding Interest, I really do hope that it can bring some inspiration to a couple of other people. So if you like what you heard here, drop a comment below. How are you playing life on hard mode? Why do you choose life on easy mode? All of it's got value to other people that come across those type of comments and that engagement, as long as you're being honest. And if you want to see more, like, subscribe, support us, check out our website, lifeofcompoundinginterest.com. But until next time, I hope you just take care.